Up this Martin Luther King holiday, don't just take the day off, take the day on and help promote a city of unity. Today, you can help give back to those less fortunate.
And here with more on the Community Lunch for All taking place today is Alan Hill of Black Market Magazine and Intelligent Communications. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well.
Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Martin Luther King Day. I mean, MLK Jr. Day is such an important day in our country. Why is it so important to you?
Well, first of all, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And it's a holiday that I think a lot of people have just started to really start to embrace.
Grasp,
and,
yeah.
and you know, of course, a government, now a federal holiday, it's becoming more well known. One of the things that we've seen over the years is that a lot of people, we celebrate, we do the parades, we take the day off. And that's pretty much it. But of course, we have to remember that Dr. King was a proponent for humanity. He was a proponent for not just African Americans, but for everyone. And our premise at our company and from our founders is to basically give back on that day. I come from an environment, I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. I grew up actually in Dr. Abernathy's church.
Wow.
I'm a former intern for the former mayor and, of course, civil rights icon, Andrew Young. I've worked for Dr. C.T. Vivian, and the list goes on and on. So it's always been an inspiration, and when you live in a city like that, where it is truly a city that's too busy to hate, and you do things, and this is the way that I grew up. So when we decided to look at other cities to do business in, and Las Vegas came up on the map, one of the things that we saw when we were here was we didn't see that type of unity.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I know, and I don't mean to slight any organization that's doing things, but we needed to do something for our associates and our advertisers and the individuals who work with us. So just one afternoon before King Holiday, now basically I'm actually born on January 15th,
Wow.
which is Martin Luther King's actual birth date. Of course, we celebrated on the following Monday. And so, we were like, hey, well, let's go out, let's party, let's hit the biggest club in town, let's spend tons of money. And I'm like, let's do what we would do if we were actually at home.
Yeah.
And that would be, we'd help redecorate a schoolyard or work with a homeless program at our church or a feeding program. And so we started doing that here. And about 3 years ago, we fed, I think, about 600 or 700 people.
Wow.
And then over the last couple of years, it's grown. We basically do a bag lunch. Last year we actually barbecued. We actually barbecued
Nice.
on Washington and East Street at Mount Jameson Baptist Church. And we fed 1,000 people that year.
Wow.
We're looking at the pictures right now too.
My goodness.
It's quite a line of people
Yes.
that need help.
And that's the interesting thing about people who need help. We actually only handed out about 25 flyers that day.
Wow.
That morning,
And that's all it
about
took.
8:30, and the line was around the corner.
Wow.
At 1 o'clock, promptly. And it is an eye-opening experience, especially if you haven't done it before.
Yeah.
One of the things that was really weighed heavy on my heart was the first year that we did it. And I met a young lady who had about 3 children with her. One of them was in a little carriage, and she had 2 school-age children. And she came back over, and she asked if she have a couple of more bags. Lunches. And one of the volunteers was like, oh, well, it's only 1 bag per person. And I was speaking to her, and actually her kids that got out of school on Friday had not actually had a decent lunch or meal because the
There's that
situation that
Yeah.
they were in, and lunch at that school would be breakfast in the morning, lunch in the afternoon, so they're getting at least 2 meals.
Yeah.
So you're talking Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday.
Yeah.
So, when
Well, I hope that volunteer gave him an extra bag or 2.
Oh, we actually loaded her up.
Okay, good.
We had to. But those are the types of things that you see. And a lot of the individuals that come out and volunteer, we also drive out underneath some of the bridges and some of the areas where individuals are living. And it's an eye-opening experience. When you see that you can get up in your house and in your bed and go to your refrigerator and pull out whatever it is that you want to eat, and then there's so many people who can't do that.
A lot of people are reflecting on the day, but you're actually taking action and doing something, and that's what you're encouraging people to do.
Absolutely. And so we're encouraging anyone in the publishing business, any of the individuals in the entertainment business that we work with, please come out. You don't have to bring anything. Just come out, volunteer.
Get ready to bag some stuff.
Bag some sandwiches, put them in bags, and talk to people.
Yeah.
You have all the supplies you need, or can some people bring some things down to you?
Absolutely. You can bring anything you want, because once again, this is about, I was listening to you earlier and you were talking about, what inspires you. And I'm thinking of a quote from Martin Luther King. And he said, the most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And so it's just a matter of, if you just help one person. Can you imagine if one person helped one person each day?
Everyone will be helped. There we go.
We'd be helping a lot of people.
Yeah.
I have a copy of your magazine in my hand. Can you tell us how often this comes out?
It's every 6 weeks. Las Vegas is right now a little challenging for us. We're developing staff here now, but it is every 6 weeks. It is an urban publication. We kind of cover everything from entertainment to sports, health issues, sports, health, relationships, business. Yeah, but we kind of cover it in a real lighthearted, interesting way.
Yeah.
It's kind of almost a cult magazine, because it is kind of written ebonically, and it's something that you have to read between the lines. But once you actually read it and you understand, what we're talking about. This particular issue right here, we covered Anna DeVay's Selma, Alabama, which of course was the 50th anniversary last year. And those are the type of things that that we look at.
Awesome. Well, it's great having you. Where can we pick this up really quickly?
There are about 25, 30 locations around town.
Go to
generally
the website,
barbershops, beauty salons, places like that. Yes.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Again, the MLK Community Lunch for All is happening at Mount Jamison Baptist Church. That's at the corner of Washington and E Street from 1 until 3 today. In addition to a bag lunch, there'll be mental health providers and special guest appearances on hand. It's free, and for more information, just call that number listed.